Carson Price from the Historic Wall Center. We welcome to the program the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports vertical, Rob the Hockey Guy on X. Rob Williams joins us here on Carson Price. How are you?
Doing great, guys. Not feeling quite as optimistic as I was 1 week ago, but
yeah, you even used the word optimistic, Rob.
Are we talking baseball or hockey, by the way? You're going to have to drill down.
Nice white panel Blue Jays hat, Rob. Nice to see you come over to the light side of the force.
Had to show my support here. I have a Mariners hat as well. That's my second team. I don't hate the Mariners like Mariners fans in BC hate the Blue Jays.
It's true.
But the Jays are my team for
It's true. Mariners fans in BC are effectively Pat Verbeek. Angry balls of hate. I don't know a single Jays fan who hates the Mariners,
we're better
but
people.
I know many. It's because we're fuller Canadians.
Your words, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always say especially online, like there are more Blue Jays fans in BC and in Vancouver, but the Mariners fans here are louder and angrier. Like they are ready. Like they are ready to be.
So much whining too. I'm like, we don't get the games. Okay, so go buy extra innings. If you're that big a fan, go buy the package.
Let's face it, guys. Mariners fans are Canucks fans. It's the same neuroses.
Well, except for the Canucks have been to 3 Stanley Cups. The Mariners have.
You don't get trophies. You don't get trophies for that.
You do actually. You get the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl.
Yes, I guess you do.
We'll put you on ease and
guys. I'm feeling nervous about the chirping down 2-0 though. Here,
that is very fair, Rob. That's a my. 24 hours from now, we could be a really sad lot if we're not already. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see how many Jays fans are in that stadium tonight. How close is your finger to the Canucks panic button?
Look, I know it's 3 games. It's only 3 games, but kind of close, right? Like when we're thinking about all the things that could go right, all the vibes, all that sort of stuff. Thatcher Demko looks like Vezina caliber Thatcher Demko. So, okay, great. But the second one that we were really monitoring was Petey bouncing back. I believed that he would. I still believe that he will, but I'm not nearly as confident as I was a week ago because through 3 games, he looks exactly like the player we saw last season. Like no change. And I don't think this is something that he doesn't care. He doesn't want to do better. You look at like hits, he's throwing the body around. He leads all Canucks forwards and blocks shots. Like he cares, but he has looked anything like a star, never mind a superstar forward. Like he's playing like a third line center. Like he's deferring all the time, making the safe play. He hasn't done anything close to what Kiefer Sherwood has done, like skill wise, never mind like, you know what I mean? Like never mind the body checks. Imagine if PD had scored a breakaway goal like Kiefer Sherwood did the other night, busting out every move in the book before putting in the net. The city would be thrilled by that. So if he could just get to Kiefer Sherwood levels, we'd be happy, but he's so far away from that right now. I don't know what it is. They've got to shake up the lineup. Like that first line has not worked. They've got to find some combination that gets PD going, because if he's not going, they're not going anywhere.
Bro, Botch used to say, "Bro, do your deeks." I'm worried for Canucks fans that he can't do his deeks anymore. That it's not about willingness or confidence even. I'm worried that the handles are lost, the fast twitch is lost for him to actually even pull it off, Rob.
I don't believe that. I don't think you can lose that just like that.
It doesn't make sense. I'll grant you that. It doesn't make any sense, but that's my word.
It's maddening, right? Because it makes no sense. I don't understand how you could lose it just like that. I don't think he has. I think it's still there. I think it's a matter of him unlocking it, but it's been a year and a half now. So, you'll excuse Canucks fans if the patience then after just 3 games, because it's more than just 3 games, right? This is the continuation, and there's no more excuses now, right? Miller's gone, Tocchet's gone. You've got a head coach that you seem to get along well with.
You're healthy.
You've had a good summer, got put on the 6 kilos, and all the rest. So where is it? And we're gonna need to see it soon, right? Like there needs to be some urgency here. I don't think this is a matter of like, hey, obviously the players can't be thinking like panic already, but there does need to be urgency here. Like with Pettersson in particular, like he needs to be their number 1 center, because especially with the paper thin depth they have at center. Like the pressure is on Pettersson, so it should be. He's our highest paid player. He's coming off a terrible season. He needs to bring it, and let's see it.
And it sounds like he's getting new line mates for tomorrow. How does Pettersson between Kane and Garland strike you?
Yeah, I think Garland's the right guy for that, for Pettersson, right? Like he's an engine that can get him going. He's also a playmaker. Pettersson was just one even strength shot through 3 games, 3 shots at all strengths through 3 games. Just not going to cut it, right? So find a guy that can that I think he's played well with in the past. I think that works. And then adding Kane, who I think we've seen some peaks and valleys in Kane's game so far. That pinch when he was covering for the defenseman in the last game that directly led to an odd man rush, I think was awful. He's also thrown some massive body checks. He's got a good hard shot. So I do think that makes some sense. Again, with having a playmaker like Garland. PD's also a playmaker when he's on. So I think that could work as well. So yeah, it makes some sense to me. I was wondering about, Kiefer Sherwood as well. Like, could that be a guy? Why not just throw Garland and Sherwood and throw them the 2 guys that are going and put Pettersson between those 2, maybe. But I do think that Kane is a player that I think he needs to be a complementary piece with 2 guys that can play. Like I think the line they had him on to begin with Coots and Lekkerimaki was not really the right fit, right? Like I think he's a guy that's played with skilled players. He's been a star in this league before. I think he'll know how to read off of those kinds of players and bring a bit of an X factor to a line like that.
Yeah, and having Pettersson with DeBrusk and Besser off the hop is one of several things that hasn't worked out just yet for rookie head coach Adam Foote. Rob, you were looking at the new head coach and some of the things that he's already done, and we've found some whiffs there. Explain.
Yeah, I think back to Rick Tocchet's first full season as head coach, and it seemed like every move he made worked, right? Like every little thing just kind of fit. And Adam Foote's very early. I liked the decision to put Pettersson with DeBrusk and Besser. Like that was the line that I thought made the most sense coming into this season. Put your most established wingers that have played with PD before, and make that a line and play them all throughout preseason together. Like let them develop some chemistry together. Let them work on that. I was totally in favor of that. But boy, has it not worked, right? So, that's a miss, right? That was a miss for me. That was a miss for Foote. Like we're in the same boat on that. Braden Coots, I was surprised that he made the team. Great. Had some nice moments in preseason, but how many times have we seen that before? I think that's something that they probably should have known better, and they should have kept Max Sasson instead. So they've, credit to them. They've quickly corrected that, but I think it was probably a little foolish to think that Coots was ready for prime time, like particularly when you don't have the center depth, right? So I think those are 2 whiffs right off the hop. I think Evander Kane on PP1. does not like maybe he can fit on PP1, but not in the JT Miller spot on the left flank. Like that's just not a spot for him. I think that's looked completely awful right off the hop. On the power play, for me, Connor Garland's the guy that should be in that spot, and if it's not Garland, Brock Besser to have a one-timer on that wing. But yeah, so there's been more whiffs, I think, than hits so far for Adam Foote in terms of his deployment with his team so far.
He does have a get out of jail free card for all of this, though, Rob. He doesn't want this get out of jail free card, but he does have one. They're just not a good enough team, and that no matter what he does there, he's not going to unlock it. Like there is no panacea here where he just discovers paradise because of the right combination. Like it's quite possible this team is just not good enough.
Honestly, the key to all this, and I don't want to put undue pressure on him, but the key to all of this is Elias Pettersson. Like you need to at least be a one-line team, right? Like at least be that. And I
Canucks
think
have been a playoff team with that. Canucks have been a playoff team in their history many a times, being a one-line team. Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, think of the Lotto line before. Like, just have one line that's going. If you could just have that and have great goaltending, have a very good defense, and cobble together 3 other lines, they could make the playoffs with that.
Yep.
But it's going to be really hard to make the playoffs if they have 3 third lines. Oh, never mind 3 third lines, 4 third lines, right? Mm-hmm. Like I was going to say a second line and 3 third lines, but like so far it's like they have 4 third lines, and that's just not going to cut it. It's up to PD. Like Besser and DeBrusk, we know those guys are complementary players, very nice complementary players. They're not going to drive a line. You need Pettersson to drive a line. I think Garland, we see can do that on a secondary role, right? Like, but I mean, it's Pettersson. That's the guy right now that they need to be a star for them. He cannot just be making smart plays, being a good two-way player. That's Teddy Bluger's role. Pettersson needs to be a star.
Right. So brings us to the Redwoods Golf Course poll question. Would you say they're desperate for a center, Rob?
Yes, but at what cost, right? I think they need at least another, like, I'm really surprised that they didn't add just another guy, at least even if it was just a third line center. I mean, with the Blues in town, that really shines a light on what a foolish decision it was to not bring back Pius Suter. I mean, he's a second or third line center on this team, exactly the type of guy they need. Yeah, I mean, like when they let him go, I think everyone thought, well, geez, they've got a bigger move is coming, right? They're not satisfied with Pius Suter for that money. They're going to spend their money on someone better than Pius Suter, even if it requires giving up picks or prospects. Just sign Pius Suter. I know it would have been bringing back the band a little bit, but you could have not traded for Kane and brought back Suter. And like, where's the bigger need on this team, right? It's at center. And I think that is a puzzling move that unless they, pull a rabbit out of a hat now and find another center that's really going to be the answer. Like just bring back Suter. That was the move. I think that was the move a lot of people were saying at the time. And I think that's as a few months have gone past, I think it looks all the more glaring that they missed Pius Suter in the middle.
Rob, before you go, you were a little bit critical of Adam Foote there earlier. Are you worried that he will take you aside and have a word with you about your criticism and tell you how you've gone astray? Because apparently the last guy had to do that a couple of times.
Rick Tocchet never pulled me aside, but I would be nervous if he was upset. I will admit to that. If I made Rick Tocchet steaming mad, I think I would be a little bit nervous.
He's on the sheet today too, by the way. He's on the sheet with Jeff Merrick today too, so you can go check that out.
This is from Spitting Chicklets earlier in the week when he talked about the Vancouver media, how big and bad it was. How He can handle everything. After the Vancouver media, he said he was very upset about one situation where he had to pull people aside, and one of them got very nervous. I have a feeling it was when people noticed that Brock Besser wasn't wearing an A anymore and started talking about that, and because he got very upset about that.
Really?
That's where my mind went as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought to that immediately, the way he phrased it. Yeah.
Here's the thing is Rick Tocchet and the Vancouver Canucks had agency where all they had to say was, oh, we're rotating A's. You're going to see some different guys wearing A's. And it's a total non-story.
It's a non-story.
Instead, they failed to do that. People go, oh, look at that. Brock Besser isn't wearing an A. And, of course, the question, did he get stripped of his A? What happened there? And he took great umbrage with
And
that.
as one Twitter commenter said, yeah, you handled the Vancouver media so well, you fled after a couple of years. That's how well you handled it.
The funny thing was Rick Tocchet was a media darling, right? Like fans online criticized the media for not laying into Tocchet more, right? Like I think people were on side with I think a lot of the media was on side with moves that Rick Tocchet made. This is not a case of, this is not like a Willie Desjardins where we were picking apart every single move he made. Like I think a lot of people, I think he got a lot of rope given, the 23-24 season where every move he made, turned to gold effectively.
And even last year, there's a lot of caveats and asterisks that led you to where they finished, which was still a decent finish at 90 points.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, the Canucks were a tire fire off the ice on the ice too, but like off the ice, with the drama that became very public, and the team, the coaches, the players, they have to wear that. I mean, this was not like a media creation, the JT Miller, Elias Pettersson thing. Like there was no noise coming from the media about a rift in the locker room until JT Miller took a leave. And it became quite apparent after that there was a rift in the room, and this was a team that was supposed to be a definite playoff team, and let's see how far they can go. And they ended up missing the playoffs and just being completely dysfunctional all season long. So yeah, there's noise when that happens. There's noise on Canucks Twitter. There's noise in the Vancouver media, as there should. This is a big hockey market, and I think that I'm a media guy saying don't blame the media and don't complain about the media. So like, I get it. So you can make up your own minds about it. But I don't know. Did the New York Yankees bitch and complain about the media coverage that they get in New York? Did the Dallas Cowboys bitch and complain about the coverage they get in Dallas? I mean, if you want to be a big market team, if you want to be in the spotlight, I think you should not complain about, about a passionate fan base and a media that cares about the team, right? There's a lot of interest in this team in Vancouver. So I don't think you should complain. And Tocchet himself did say, like we shouldn't complain about it, but kind of complain.
Lions should not concern themselves with the bleatings of sheep, Rick.
But the other thing I thought was interesting that he said there was they started talking about like, if you could win in Vancouver like that, I think he said it would be a top 5 place to win. Like if you could be a champion in Vancouver.
What we've always said. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that teams like the Canucks should remind players and everyone.
Hell yeah.
Like if you can win here, like that's going to be bigger than it's winning like Matthew Tkachuk in 20 years
walks around South Florida and nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pay for his own drinks in South Florida. You win a Stanley Cup in Vancouver, you'll be a god here forever.
The captain will have a statue outside holding up that cup.
No, it would be like if you were a member of that first Red Sox team to break through, or a member of that first Cubs team to break through. Right? Like that is how you would be regarded by an entire province. I'll correct Rick. It's the number one place. If you were to deliver a Stanley Cup to the city of Vancouver and the province of British Columbia, that is the number one thirstiest place for a hockey championship, and you will be celebrated until your last day on this earth, at least here.
And you could make the argument that it's Toronto after their drought, but they've got the Jays, they've got the Raptors, they are a split audience,
and they do have cups. Like you have to be a certain age, but there are there are Stanley Cup banners that hang in that arena, and there are none here. Great stuff, Rob. Thanks for this. Catch up next week.
Thank you.